Good day, everyone. I am Rochelle Escalante, and I will be discussing the discourse theory. So let's now start. So what is discourse? So when we say discourse, guys, it is a unit of language longer than a single sentence. It is also a collection of texts or conversations. And discourse is also a shared way of talking or creating text or code. And it is a language beyond the sentence. So we have also what we call discourse analysis. So what is discourse analysis? When we say discourse analysis, it is the study of language in use. So discourse analysis considers both the teacher's and learner's contributions. It differs from interaction analysis in that it aims to describe just the function of individual utterances, but how these utterances combine to form larger discourse unit. So according to Cambridge Delta, discourse analysis is the study of how the separate bits of language which make up the discourse make sense. So the discourse theory of second language acquisition follows from a theory of language use, in which communication is treated as the matrix of linguistic knowledge. That the language development should be considered in terms of how the learner discovers the potential meaning of language as he participates in communication or when the learner is conversing with other. So according to Halliday studied his own child and concluded that the development of formal linguistic devices grows out of the interpersonal uses to which language is put. So, as Cherry 1979 put it, through communication, the children accomplish actions in the world and develop the rules of language structure and language use. So the researcher also found strong similarities in the developmental route. So the second language acquisition followed a universal route largely influenced by the following factors. The first one is the learner's age. The second one is the context of learning and the L1's background or their mother tongue's background. L1 is also what we call mother tongue or the first language. So there are studies conducted to establish the existence of natural root in second language acquisition development. These are the cross-sectional research and the longitudinal studies. So what is cross-sectional research? So cross-sectional research, guys, is also known as morpheme studies. In here, it carried out to investigate the order of a range of grammatical functions in the speech of second language learners. And in longitudinal studies, all L2 learners or all those learners of second language pass through the basic syntax, variant word order, morphological development, and also complex sentence structure. So what is basic syntax? So when we say basic syntax, guys, it is the arrangement of words. And what is variant word order? So variant word order is rearrange words. And morphological development is what we call the word formation. I know that you are already aware with this. And lastly, complex sentence structure. So the discourse theory emphasizes interaction and discourse, and it is characterized by modifications in both input and discourse. So in input, it is exaggerated enunciation, the greater overall loudness, and the use of full forms rather than contractions. And in discourse, it is the expansions, repetitions, classifications, and paraphrasing, as well as topic simplification. So we are all know that expansions means you are expanding from the word itself. Repetitions means repeating some certain words. Another one is the classification. I know you are already familiar with this. And also paraphrasing. So in paraphrasing, you are just paraphrasing the sentence by means of shortening or adding some certain words, but in here the meaning is still the same. And lastly, the topic simplification, or you're just simplifying the topic. So native speakers adjust their speech in order to negotiate meaning. Just like us, when we are conversing with the foreign nationalities, we tend to shift into another language, which is the English, in order to negotiate meaning so that they can able to understand us. We often tend to use another language or shift into another language. We are the one who adjusts. So what is the role of native speaker and non-native speaker, or the NS or the NNS? So the role of native speaker is to enable the non-native speaker to communicate. And the non-native speaker role is to use various strategies in the negotiation of meaning. Of course, if you are the non-native speaker, you need to use various strategies in the negotiation of meaning by means of shifting or using another language. Or you can also use what we call PG. So the native speaker and non-native speaker strive to overcome the communicative difficulties. And the negotiation between two makes the input more comprehensible. So, conversational strategies used to negotiate meaning and the resulting adjusted input influence second language acquisition in a number of ways. First, the frequency of specific syntactic forms in the speech directed at the learner. So the learner acquires those exposed to most frequent. So in language acquisition, there is a study in which when you are exposed to a certain language, there is a high possibility that you can easily adopt the language or you can easily learn it. So the learner acquires commonly occurring formulas, later analyzes this into their component parts. And the third one is the learner helped to construct sentences vertically. So the learner utterances are constructed by borrowing chunks of speech. Like for instance, the teacher say, take a look at the next picture. So the pupils answered when he saw the next picture is box, because the student or the pupil So it is a box. And the teacher's response is a box. Of course, you need to repeat the answer of your pupils. A box, yes. So pupil, a box of bananas. So in this example, guys, the last utterance of the pupil in this exchange was constructed vertically by borrowing a chunk of the preceding discourse, which is a box, and adding to it the word bananas. A box of bananas. So, according to Hatch, one learns how to do conversations. One learns how to interact verbally. Out of this interaction, syntactic structures are developed. And he also suggests that interaction determines the root of second language acquisition. So this is the strongest claim for the role of interaction in second language acquisition. It emphasizes the role of linguistic environment. Now let's move on to conversation, or a mode of discourse. So what is conversation? So when we say conversation, guys, it is a most salient and significant modes of discourse. It is excellent examples of interactive and interpersonal nature of communication. So, in other words, conversation is exchanging words, exchanging thoughts by means of words. So question, if, like for instance, if you say something to someone, then he or she or that someone does not reply, can we consider that as conversations? Well, when you say conversations, just like what I said a while back, it is exchange of words between two individuals. So if there is no response, means it's not a conversation, it's a communication. So according to Hatch and Long, conversations are cooperative ventures. Children learn the first and essential rule of communication by attention getting. So the attention getting conventions, both verbal and non-verbal, need to be careful assimilated by learners. So the following are questions that every adult native speaker of a language possesses. First one is, what are the rules that govern our conversations? Number 2, how do we get someone's attention? Number 3, how do we initiate topics? Number 4, how do we terminate and avoid topics? So, foreign language curricula deal with these aspects of communicative competence. Nomination. So, what is nomination? So, according to H.P. Grice, 1971, Grice noted the following conversational maxims, or enable the speaker to nominate and maintain a topic of conversations. The first one is the quality and the quantity, as well as the relevance, and also the manner. So, what is quantity? So, when we say quantity, you may say only as much as necessary for understanding the communication. Don't say anything that is not related to your topic. What you are saying must be the one who is important or something that is necessary only. Don't add additional info that is no longer related to your topic. Next one is the quality. Of course, say only what is true. Don't tell anything that you do not have any basis. And also relevance. You may say only what is relevant to the topic that you are about to talk or you are talking to. And of course, manner. In order for the two of you to understand each other. Manner means you need to be clear about what you are saying so that your listener can easily understand you. So now let's now go or move on to implications. So what is the implications of the discourse theory? First, teachers should encourage interaction among learners. Why? Why the teachers need to encourage interaction among learners? Of course, if you are not using the language, it's useless. And you cannot easily learn it. You need to interact also. Just like what I mentioned a while back, that if you are exposed or if you are using it daily, you can easily adopt the language or you can easily learn it. And secondly, teachers should aware of the rules of conversations in the second language. You as a teacher must be aware of the rules of conversation in learning another language. And lastly, teacher create situations that will allow interaction among learners. So, why do you need to create situations that will allow interaction among your learners? Of course, we are all know that most of our students are sometimes afraid to speak using another language, most especially English, because of course they are not yet aware about their grammars. That's why you as a teacher, you need to do something. So that is the implications of the discourse theory. Let's now move on to another topic, which is the variable competence model.